Welcome friends, welcome back to the kitchen, welcome back to what was on sale at the grocery store. It has been a while since we've shot one of these, probably 5 or 6 months since I've been in the studio to shoot a what's on sale at the grocery store video. So, what was on sale at the grocery store? Ground beef from New Zealand. Kind of weird. I've used this before. It often now shows up in the grocery store on sale, really inexpensive, all the way from New Zealand. Since the last time I shot one of these, the mix of products at the grocery store the grocery stores that I shop at here in Toronto has drastically changed. A mix of new products from other parts of the world that we weren't seeing before. So you go into the grocery store, you go to the meat counter where it's all laid out beautifully and the butcher serves you all Canadian beef, all relatively expensive. You go to the bunker where you serve yourself and it's on a plastic tray. Most of the beef was New Zealand, Australia, or Mexico. And it's labeled New Zealand, Australia, or Mexico because it's inspected and it's graded, but the gradings in those countries don't match the grading that we use here in Canada. Canada's grading is aligned with the United States. And so when it comes in from somewhere else, it has to be labeled as coming from somewhere else. The United States just slips in and you'd never know that it was here. Anyway, what am I doing? I'm making a soup. And this is not a recipe. This is an idea. This is just a feeling. This is just a bunch of stuff that I have in my cupboard that I often now throw together into a soup that I really enjoy. And when I say it's not a recipe, it's because the mix of stuff that's here on the counter changes depending on what's in my cupboard or what's on sale. Okay, ground beef into the pot, and we're gonna brown it and break it up into little pieces. And so I've made this with ground beef, ground pork, ground bison. I don't think it really matters what sort of protein you put in here to start with. Even though there's no spice, there's no dried spice or herbs on the counter here, you're going to build a lot of flavor in this. And this is grass-fed New Zealand beef, which has a slightly different flavor than corn-finished ground beef that you often find at the grocery store here now. Okay, chopped onion and jalapeno. So in those go. And we'll just continue frying that until the onion and the pepper is softened. So this is where we get into the variability. Today I've got pinto and navy beans. I will use 2 cans of whatever beans I have in the cupboard. And I often use different types of beans together because they do bring slightly different flavors and different textures. And I like that change in flavor and texture. Next in, a can of Rotel. You could use any tomato that you want or like. I like the flavor of Rotel. I have to admit that when I've been caught short and didn't have Rotel, I have made it with leftover salsa or most of a jar of salsa, and I might just throw some of that salsa in anyway. What you're looking for is the tomato flavor, of course, but also all of the other things that are in the salsa. And so use a brand that you like, of course, for all of these things. If you've got a favorite brand, use your favorite brand. There's really only a couple of things where I get bogged down in a particular brand. For most stuff, I'm agnostic for branding. That is beef stock, could be chicken stock, could be vegetable stock, could be water. Chopped green chilies. Oh, I'm gonna need a spoon. So this is just the chopped chili that I can find in every grocery store close to me. There are a couple of specialty grocery stores that I can visit if I have the time to drive downtown, and Toronto's a really tough city to get around in. The traffic is horrendous. And if I had the time, I would go and get the other ones, but these ones are pretty good, and they bring a lot of flavor. So, just because let's put some salsa in. Okay, so measuring carefully, that was maybe a third of that jar. We'll stir that in. Look at that. Doesn't that look amazing? It smells great already too. And finally, last ingredient, star of the show, refried beans. I have grown to absolutely love refried beans in this type of soup. You mix them in and they disappear into the soup and just give this really creamy texture. Amazing texture. And the flavor that they bring is really great as well. Or at least I think it is great. And so this soup, it will come with me. Now that I've gotten my instrument rating, I have passed. I am now an instrument rated pilot. I will be flying a lot more and doing a lot more of some really fun things on the flying channel. Okay, that's it. That took me like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. If I hadn't been talking to you, it would have been even faster. The soup is pretty much ready to go. Everything that's in there is cooked. You just have to warm it through. I'm going to let it go for about an hour and a half or 2 hours until Julie gets home from work. It'll come together really nicely. It'll go in the fridge overnight, and tomorrow it's going to be even better. Hey, Jules.
Hey, friends. Hey, Glen.
A little bit of soup now that the weather's starting to turn.
Nothing like
Oh, thank you.
a little bean, some tomato, some onion. That looks pretty good. Smells good.
Needs a little more salt. Could do with a pinch more salt. Taste your soup as you're going along.
Oh, it's got a nice bite to it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. And I really like the creaminess from the refried beans.
That's okay. There's a lot of good flavor and texture in there. That's a nice soup.
Taste it as you go along. If you like chili powder, a little bit of chili powder in it would certainly work. I know someone who doesn't like chili powder. And so I work around that. Chopped up chipotle peppers would go well in this. Definitely. I mean, it's just an idea. It's not really a recipe. It is just an idea. And the idea is that when you're at home, this is so easy to put together, and it's relatively inexpensive if you shop on sales and you buy the no-name beans. And
Well, really, you just put the flavors, your favorite flavors.
yes, your favorite flavors in this, and you're going to, but the textures, I really
that bean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really like this.
There we go.
Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon.
Did we remember to say that in the last video?
Maybe. For those of you that celebrate Christmas, maybe you have a loved one that would like an apron. Links down below.